Hey, what's up, Jeff here from Pixion Design and welcome to the Photoshop for Beginners tutorial series. In this video we are going to have a look at the Photoshop interface. Chances are the first time you open Photoshop you probably found it a little bit intimidating, especially if you've had no previous experience using a graphics editor. But that's okay. To help you get started with Photoshop, we're going to first go over the interface so you know where and what everything is. The interface you see when you first open Photoshop may look a bit different from mine. I'm using Photoshop CC 2015, but if you're using an older version such as Photoshop CS6, don't worry, the difference is very minimal. The top menu bar is very much like any other menu you'd find in other programs. It's like a command center for Photoshop where you can access various common functions within, such as creating and opening files, accessing different filters, and of course the help dialog. On the left is the toolbar where you can access all tools within Photoshop. Now you'll notice for some of these tools there is a small triangle on the bottom right. Now this means it contains multiple tools of a similar nature, or it contains different modes of the same tool. To activate the tool displayed, simply click it or use its corresponding hotkey. To access additional tools or modes, simply left click and hold until a small menu pops up, then select the tool you'd like to use. You can also select or toggle between these tools using hotkeys. So for example, the Move tool has the default hotkey of V. So if I hold down Shift while pressing V, I can toggle between the Move tool and the Artboard tool. So the Move tool is a good example of tools of a similar nature in a sense that their functions are closely related. Don't worry about the functions of these tools just yet, as we'll be going over them in future videos. Let's have a look at the Marquee tool. This tool is a good example of the same tool having different modes. So if I left click and hold to open the menu, you'll see that all of these are essentially the same tool. As you can see here, it says Marquee, but with different modes such as rectangular and elliptical. Just below these tools is a button that will allow you to customize the toolbar to your liking. You can change the order of display and hotkey for these tools, as well as toggling on and off the additional buttons at the bottom of your toolbar. We'll go over these customization options in a later video. Below the customizer, you'll find a small button with black and white squares. Clicking on this will set your default foreground and background colors to default, which, as you can probably guess, is black and white. The arrow beside it will allow you to quickly switch between these two colors. The hotkey for this function is X. The bigger black and white squares will allow you to pick a foreground and background color. When you click it, a color picker will appear. Below this is the Quick Mask button, which enables Quick Mask mode. We'll be going over that in a future video. The last button here toggles the screen mode of Photoshop. The hotkey for this is F. Currently it is grayed out because we don't have anything in our work area. If you don't like the single row vertical layout of the toolbar, you can click this button on the top left to toggle between a 1 or 2 row layout. Just below the main menu is the context menu. The contents of this menu will change depending on which tool you have activated. For example, right now I have the Move tool activated, so the context menu will show additional settings related to that particular tool. If I switch to the Marquee tool, you can see the context menu has changed to show settings and parameters related to the Marquee tool. On the right side of the context menu, you can find a drop-down full of workspace layout presets. For now, we'll keep it on Essentials. On the right side, we have two dock areas. The first being the narrow section here. You can dock various panels here and click on it to expand or minimize it. The second dock area is on the very right and again includes various panels that you can toggle between. On the bottom of this dock area is the Layers panel, which is the most important panel in Photoshop, and typically you'll want to keep this panel open at all times. The middle area is your workspace, and this is where your canvas will be. You don't have to follow along, but I'll quickly create a new document to show you the canvas. The white area you see here is the canvas, and this is where all of your work will take place. On the bottom there is a zoom level dialog that you can manually set, a share on Behance button, as well as an overview of your document size. If you're using Photoshop CS6, you may have a bridge panel here as well. Alright, this wraps up the interface overview, and if you found this video helpful, consider dropping a like and subscribe. This is Jeff from Pixion Design, and I will see you next time.